Welcome to the story of the Dream of Distant Shores. In a cozy coral cove beneath the waves, Timothy the little turtle gazed up at the moonlight rippling through the water. He had read stories about a hidden island with glimmering shores and sea creatures who played under rainbows. One day, he whispered, "I'll find that island." Timothy was small, but his heart was brave. With his tiny shell packed with seaweed snacks and a compass made from a shiny shell and a pearl, Timothy swam off into the deep blue sea. Math moment. Timothy counted his flipper strokes, 10 strokes forward, then rest for 5. That's 2 rests every 10 strokes, he figured. I can do this. As Timothy swam farther, he heard a cheerful ee-ee and saw a sleek silver dolphin leap from the waves. "I'm Dazzle," said the dolphin, flipping in the air. "Where are you headed, tiny traveler?" Timothy explained his quest. Dazzle nodded. "You'll need courage and cleverness. Let's play a counting game to train your mind." They raced through hoops made of seaweed. "How many hoops did we pass?" asked Dazzle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Timothy shouted, giggling. "You're learning fast." Dazzle winked. "Follow the sun's reflection. It'll lead you to the island." Lesson: sometimes courage starts with believing you can learn something new. Timothy reached a sandy stretch where a cheerful red crab clicked his claws in rhythm. "Click, click. I'm Coco, the counting crab," he chirped. "Need help crossing the rocky reef?" The reef was a maze of bumpy stones. "Step only on the rocks that add up to even numbers," said Coco. "Let's count together." They hopped from a rock marked 2 to 4, then 6. Timothy paused. "What comes next?" Coco smiled. 8, of course." Math moment. Timothy learned to recognize even numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Lesson: problem solving is easier with a friend and a little rhythm. Above the waves, a wise old seagull circled. "Caw! I'm Gulliver," he squawked, landing gracefully. "You're close to the hidden island, but beware the misty maze. It hides the way unless you know the pattern." Gulliver drew a map in the sand, using shapes. Triangle, square, triangle, square. "What comes next?" he asked. Timothy thought. "Triangle," he beamed. "Correct!" Gulliver nodded. "Patterns help us find paths when the way is unclear." Lesson: look for patterns. They can guide you through tricky times. Look for patterns. They can guide you through tricky times. The best way to find peace in life. What comes next? Look for patterns. They can guide you through tricky times. Above the waves, a wise old seagull circled. "Caw! I'm Gulliver," he squawked, landing gracefully. "You're close to the hidden island, but beware the misty maze. It hides the way unless you know the pattern." Gulliver drew a map in the sand, using shapes. Triangle, square, triangle, square. "What comes next?" he asked. Timothy thought. "Triangle," he beamed. "Correct." Gulliver nodded. "Patterns help us find paths when the way is unclear." As for that too, the voice you get is perfect. Triangle, a Gulliver, correct. Patterns help us find paths when the way is unclear. As Timothy followed the pattern path, a golden glow lit the water ahead. He had found the island. It shimmered with glimmering shores made of sparkling shells. Playful sea creatures danced in the shallows. Starfish spun, jellyfish floated like balloons, and fish of every color darted about. Timothy laughed with joy. "I made it." But just as he stepped ashore, the sky darkened suddenly. Lesson: achieving a goal is wonderful, but sometimes challenges arrive just after success. Dark clouds swirled above. Lightning flashed, and waves crashed onto the glowing shore. "The storm is stealing the island's light," cried a glowing jellyfish. "We need help." Timothy remembered his friends. "We must work together," he declared. He swam to find Dazzle, Coco, and Gulliver, racing against the growing winds. Lesson: when faced with a big problem, gather your team. The friends huddled together beneath an overhang. "We need to bring the light back," said Timothy. "But how? Gulliver fluffed his feathers. We must reflect the sunlight using the sea glass on the shore. Coco counted shards. We need 10 pieces to make a full circle, he said. Timothy found 2. Dazzle found 3. Coco scuttled with 4, and Gulliver brought 1. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 1 equals 10, Timothy added. We did it. Math moment. Simple addition helped them gather just enough materials. Lesson: teamwork and math can solve even stormy problems. Together, the friends placed the sea glass in a perfect circle on the sand. When the sun peeked through the clouds, its light hit the glass and bounced in radiant beams across the island. The sea creatures cheered as the island glowed once more, brighter than before. The storm began to fade, and peace returned. Lesson: even small efforts shine brightly when shared with others. That night, the island sparkled with laughter and music. Starfish danced in spirals, dolphins leapt through moonbeams, and jellyfish lit the tide like lanterns. Timothy sat with his friends, a warm feeling in his shell. You were brave, said Dazzle. And kind, added Coco. And wise, said Gulliver. Timothy smiled. We all were, all of us together. Lesson: every friend brings something special to a team. At sunrise, Timothy hugged his friends goodbye. I'll come back, he promised. With one last look at the glimmering island, he swam home. As he reached his coral cove, the sea sparkled just a bit brighter. That night, Timothy curled into his shell, dreaming of patterns, numbers, and glowing shores. He was still a little turtle, but now he knew. Brave hearts can light up the world. Final lesson: believe in yourself, be kind, and work together, and magical things will happen. The end. Why isn't he on the island? Why isn't he wearing the Pandora? Why is he bringing balloons to White? Why is he borrowing limes? Why is he holding on to a pair of news determined to push people? Why is he pushing back inside the river? Why is he pushing back inside the boat and constantly pushing people to the limits? Why is he pushing back inside the boat and pushing people to the limits? Why is he pushing back inside the boat and constantly pushing people to the limits? Why is she pushing back inside the boat and pushing people to the limits? Why is he pushing back inside the boat and pushing people to the limits? Why is he pushing back inside the boat?